Ok. Molto bene.
I like that little stuffed thing.
It's a Mr. Flamingo.
Can I have Mr. Flamingo with me for
Sure.
today, please? Keep me company.
Companion.
Yes, because I love birds, and most of what I do has to do with birds these days. So why not have a bird with me?
Perfect.
Actually,
It's
could go
good
with
company.
my brand.
I rescued him. He got
You did?
got attacked by a dog.
Oh my God, poor thing. What's
Had
his
to
name?
stitch him up.
Mr. Flamingo?
Mr. Flamingo.
And you're a rescue, a stuffed flamingo. I love it. I feel so compassionate already.
Yeah. I mean, rescuing a stuffed animal is like
It is, you see?
weird.
I'm sure you have a lot of water in your chart because that requires a lot of emotions in a good heart.
I'm not sure. But let's talk first about your
What do you want to talk first?
crowdfunding campaign on
Okay, the
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter campaign. Yes. Well, it's a challenge to run a campaign like that. It has been going for 2 weeks, and it's still 1 more week to go. I am confident that I will achieve the funds with the help of my friends and family. If not, I will probably stop talking to them. But no, I'm joking.
I'm happy to support. I just
Thank you.
did
Thank
a
you
little
so much.
little.
Yes. We can maybe leave the
contribution.
link here in the description of the
Absolutely.
of the video, so if people want to learn more about the campaign there. But it takes a lot of effort to put together a Kickstarter campaign
I know.
to make it look professional. Have you done one?
I've done a couple in the past, but not very successful. But I'm talking like 10 years ago or longer.
And how do you define success in a Kickstarter campaign? You mean reaching the goal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty fundamental thing. But if you also enjoy the process of putting it together and doing it, I think that can also count it as success. At least I like to see it like that.
Yes, or at least if you find a lot of people interested in what you're trying to create and achieve, even if you don't reach your goal, you're still building up on your fan base, and there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to promote. It's hard to get
is.
it out there.
Yeah.
What's your strategy?
Well, okay, that's a good thing. I have, I try to make it look, and it is, as professional as I am. All my marketing experience was there to create the pieces, and I've had help from an amazing group of friends that were willing to work by either exchange or just by by their kindness of their hearts, because they know this is a passion project, that it's very unlikely that I'm going to be millionaire after the Kickstarter campaign ends.
You never know.
I never know, but in fact, I'm struggling to cover the cost of the book development. And honestly, at this point, I don't really care. I'm going to do it whatever it takes. So my strategy has been basically personal marketing, I guess, just reaching out to people that I know, believing me, know the quality of my professional work, have worked with me in the past, know the reason behind the story, know the book. So I guess it's forging on the connections that you already have, and trying to bring on, I do like to share, right? So I have gifts for the people who are part of the campaign. You will receive them as well. And
I did no gift, just
no. Even just for being part of it, you will receive it whether you like it or not.
Oh, cool.
So it's like you
even
didn't
better.
you didn't choose a reward,
Yes.
right? But you will get the gifts anyway.
That's super cool.
Yes, because that's how I like to give back and show the support. Even if you put in $5, you will still get something.
Nice.
And what I've noticed is that we're currently in a very complex world situation.
Oh yeah.
And budgets are tight, and people are asking for a lot of help everywhere. People not having enough to cover for their medical expenses. People dying. So it is a tough moment to be running a campaign where I want to speak about love and hope and helping kids to deal with their emotions. But if you see it, I see it as an opportunity, because we need to start thinking ahead of what's going to happen after COVID mayhem, and what's the emotional impact that it's going to have on the generation that is growing in this environment, right? So
If it ever ends.
yeah, I agree with you. I think this is the new normal. but
Yes.
it will eventually integrate into society, as did as other, for example, AIDS happened in the 90s, and it has integrated, and a lot of people have a normal life. So it's part of change, right? And adapt. That's pretty much what keeps this world going.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
I guess that's a strategy. Keeping it real also. Keeping it real.
How is
keeping
it going
honest.
so far?
Well, I've reached 34% of the target,
Oh, okay.
which is great. I think even if it was 1%, 2%, there's still the learning experience. Of course, I'm not going to lie. I would love to say, oh, look, I have, so much followers and I have reached my goal already. But if it doesn't happen, the things that I have learned in the process, I'm sure I'm going to be able to put it back into other stuff. And I guess that's why one of the other things the other strategy is consistency. So if you are consistent, I guess in anything in life, eventually it'll,
Achieve your
achieve
result.
a result. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So are you working on anything else like startup or marketing projects?
Yes. Oh, okay. So yes. So look, my vision is that this is the starting point of a bigger program.
Okay.
To have an organized curricula to teach children about feelings and emotions from an early age until they're teenagers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I am still in the creative process of producing the content and how is it going to be organized. But I have started, since we last met, we had a program March. I started studying in UTS.
Okay.
A degree on learning design. And that I am finding so exciting because it combines the experience that I had as a product development and marketing and design and artistry into education, which is what I want to do next. And I have joined also the startup group there. And so I'm going to start putting my ideas to the test. So I think that's exciting as a process. I don't know what's going to come out. As I tell you last time, maybe in 5 years' time, I tell you, Francesco, I didn't do that. I'm doing something else. But I'm sure I'll find a way to be happy. So yeah,
that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So it's a very early stage. It's just like putting it out there and see how it folds. But it should be cross media because if I want to reach out to kids in Latin America, for example, where I'm from, a lot of them don't have access to internet, like landline internet. It's only on WhatsApp. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of challenge in delivering content there and making like a consistent educational program with technology barriers in a world where this is going to become more a necessity, right? Because we cannot see each other or fly or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for creativity, hey?
I think so. Having a creative mindset and being able to adapt is always the key to success and like the only way to survive, I think, anyway. But yeah, no, there is definitely potential for something completely new because like whatever we're experiencing is unprecedented. You really like the...
Oh, I love Mr. Flamingo.
Mr. Flamingo.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it home. Or if you let me, maybe I'll take him for a ride. Let me just put it here as if it was a parrot. Let's see if it stays.
It's a flamingo parrot.
Yeah.
Talking about birds.
Yes.
So your book is about birds.
It's about birds. They're the main characters because deep down inside, I believe I can talk to birds. No, I'm joking, but I do love birds. I have a crush on them. I have to admit. I collect feathers.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Oh, I keep on getting rid of them because I get too many. And they have a very special meaning to me. I like to wear them on when I use a ponytail, I like to wear them here.
Oh, cool.
Because I feel like a warrior, like an Indian, like a free spirit, from an ancient tribe. And it makes me feel so good. So I love birds. And they also represent the writing. Like, in ancient time, probably in a past life, I was a writer and I used to write with feathers.
That's cool.
So, yeah, but it's also the writing, the warrior. And it's on my personal logo. So yeah,
You have a personal brand.
I do. Like, well, these days, who doesn't? Is the
Right.
question, right? But I made it more elegant, I guess, formal, and I had hired an amazing designer, a Colombian friend, who helped me work it out, and it's on my website. It's beautiful.
What's the website? Let's
The
bring it up.
website's on now. Yeah, it wasn't on when I came here last March. It's
What's the address?
Vero Figarella, like my account in Instagram.com. Yeah, so you want me to tell you about the birds, or we'll wait until the website?
Why did you choose cockatoo and
And lorikeet.
lorikeet? Yeah.
Okay. The lorikeet, I love the colors. I think is amazing. And I was writing the story. Like, I really love the colors, and I have this picture of my dad when he came to visit me here in Australia, feeding lorikeets with a lot of lorikeets on top. And I thought, oh, well, maybe she could be my character, right? So there it is. It looks really big there, but yeah. So you see the logo on top that says Vero Figarella, has a feather and the stars, of course, and
Yes.
the flower.
We'll talk about stars in a minute.
Yes.
Let's focus on the feathers first.
Yeah. So let's talk about the why a lorikeet. Well, as I told you, I was writing the story, and it was definitely going to be a bird. And then I was thinking, oh, I love this photo of my dad with the lorikeets. Oh, why don't I call it Laura Lorikeet? And it sounds so cool. And then that's how it came in. So it's basically a photo of my dad, and they are everywhere. They're very loud. They're very smart, and you can feed them almost anywhere in Sydney. Like,
Yeah.
well, in Australia, basically, all the coast, right?
And why the cockatoo?
Oh, look, I'm wearing the same.
Same
Oh, what a
outfit.
coincidence! Wow, I didn't even plan for that. Right. The cockatoo. Well, the cockatoo. It took a different meaning. I think that's that's the best character of the story, because, and I have a video on my Instagram explaining it, but it represents my brother who passed away last year. The cockatoo is just messy and loud, and it's very smart. It's a very smart animal, and it's white. And I wanted to have a nurse in the story, so I thought, well, why not the cockatoo? It took a different meaning after my brother passed away, because I started writing this story before those events happened, and it took a different meaning. So I guess that's another evidence of how things change. And I'm also dedicating the book to him. And he was a very free soul, a free man. And so, again, the birds represents us both.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, so I think for me it's a way of honoring his life and him being alive somehow.
Is that the reason
memory.
why it's called the Song of the Heart?
No, that came in because the song came when I was walking up from Bondi.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to have a song in the book, and actually had a dream about a song. And I was like, oh, maybe I could put a song in the book, right? But I didn't know exactly how it was going to play. I knew that the song had to be about dealing with emotions and the effects they have on their bodies, and learning to accept emotions as they are, right? That has been the toughest thing that I had to deal with in my life. So I wanted to teach that in a happy and fun way. So I thought, well, I have experienced most of my emotional pain in my heart, like in the chest area. So I thought, why not make it about the heart, right? Make it about here. And it's also catchy and lovely. And I think a lot of, people is connecting with the meaning of the song. I have shared it with the backers who had access to the song first, the Kickstarter project backers. And those that have listened to it said, oh, it's beautiful, it's lovely, I adore it, I'm going to play it with my kids.
Can we listen?
Okay, yes, of course, let's do that. Okay, so I just want to tell everybody that this is the world premiere of Laura Lorikeet and the Song of the Heart in English. The Spanish version is going to have a bigger audience, but yeah, so let's do it. Here we go with my body. Are they listening?
Yes.
Here we go, feel my chest and feel my heart. Put Put your hands on your chest and listen to the sounds of your heart. Put your hands on your mouth and listen to the sounds of your breath. Put your hands on your eyes and look at the shape of your heart. Shut your ears with your hands and listen to the voice of your heart. And if you
what's the reason why you decided to have a song that goes with the book?
There's no reason. I just felt it was appropriate. But you missed the part. We're going to have to play it from there in another time. Because you missed the part when it starts to come in low down, right? Like it slows down and it tells you a little bit more. But we'll do it later. Okay.
I will listen to the whole thing. The rhythm is very catchy, I think. Like it's very... it's perfect for a very young audience.
Yes.
What's your experience in like...
Oh, you asked me
creating
first?
Products for kids.
Okay, so you asked me first why do I think it's good to have a song? Because I want to make it an experience, you know. No, and also, I mean, it just came like that, you know. When you in the artistic creative process, sometimes you don't know what's gonna come out. You just have a blank page, and then something comes out, and then something else comes out, and then. As a product, I didn't think of it as a product. In the beginning, I was just wanting to tell a story. And then when I saw the potential it had to become an actual education tool about connecting body and emotions and learning to accept them as they are, I thought, wow, I should really get serious about this. And I started sharing it with people who told me, you really have to put this, you know, on a bigger scale, because it is really good. Actually, a couple of therapists that I'm currently working with to promote the book and the story have told me this is so good for therapy for kids. You have no idea what you've done, right? Mm-hmm. So it just literally came out of my own experience, my passion for kids, my desire to fulfill myself as an artist, I guess. And it came out of my heart. It is really honest. It's my story. Like the story of the cockatoo is my brother's story in my life in a beautiful way. Laura Lorikid is myself. I mean, I'm not being shy about it. Like every writer writes about themselves in a way, right? In a way, this is very evident.
Congratulations. That looks like an amazing work that you've done. Well, who's done the illustrations?
I was going to talk about that. Another Venezuelan girl who lives here in Sydney. Her name is Oriana Gonzalez. She's a photographer, and that's her first illustration book. Can you imagine that? And she's so humble and a bit shy. And she was like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do it. I'll send you a test. And she sends me this beautiful cockatoo. And I'm like, you're hired. So, yeah, she did an amazing job. And yeah, it's beautiful. That's just one of like the main illustrations. But it's a set of 15 illustrations that are in the book. And they're all beautiful. So yeah, you can that's the next one. So you can have the song here or the video, because I also created a video book that goes with the story.
That's brilliant.
And you know, I didn't think of that. I can tell you that story. And that's how, you know, things have a life of their own. Because what happened was that I wanted to, you know, I did my manuscript with the illustrations. That was probably the beginning of pandemia last year. Yeah. And I started sending it to editorials, and they're like, I'm so sorry. We already have a bird on the pipeline. One of them told me. The other one said, it's a beautiful topic, but we already have an emotion book, a book that talks about emotions in our pipeline. And I got an offer from an editorial in London who had like sort of like a partnership where I had to pay part of the production, but I will not get the royalties. I will not get paid like in a year and a half, and they will send me a check. Can you imagine sending a check in 2021, 2021? That doesn't
sound legit.
So it's like, yeah, no, I better cut the cord and I'll do it myself. And then I thought, okay, so I'll do a video. Okay, let's do the video. And I put up the whole show, and then I produce the video and get the designers and animators from Peru, get the song running. I make the video, right? Yeah, let's do some market research. all the parents said, I'm not going to put a video to my kids because I'm up to here with online learning. I want a printed book. And I'm like, okay, we'll do the printed version of the book. So, and I also, in the process, wrote a play. So I have a 30 to 40 minute play for kids about Laura Kid with additional characters that I'm hoping it'll be used to teach kids English in, Latin American countries, but with a meaning. So let's see if that project hasn't started to run yet, but it's in like, I already have the contract with someone who teaches English to, kids around 10 to 12 years old. And if all goes well, she's going to use a play to teach the kids to learn English. So I have so many pieces of content just from that story. And it happened all because somebody said no. Then the pandemic happened. Then people didn't want a video. People wanted a book. And then I wanted to subscribe my play to a contest. I did. And, of course, I failed miserably. Because it's the first time I write a play. And it was a lot of competition last year for everything. But then I thought, well, but this could be like a nice combo of, having a different way of presenting the same story. And that story, the play, has a kookaburra as well as the cockatoo and other birds, of course,
Yeah.
It's my theme, the birds. So, yeah.
And you started a new book,
upcoming book.
Book.
That is going to be, that's, I think you're looking at the Spanish version anyhow, it's in Spanish just yet. It's called Bronte and Tamaran, The Brothers and the Sea. It's just in Spanish for now. And we're finishing the illustrations as we speak. Probably will be finished by end of May. But I'm learning from this process, and I'm going to do it just in one language first, and then let's see how it works. Because Laura Kid is in English and Spanish, and it has been double the effort.
Which one is easier to market for you?
Spanish, of course. Yes, because I've got a lot more contacts that speak my mother tongue.
Yeah.
And for better or worse, for the past 15 years that I have been coming in and out of Australia, I haven't spent here as much time as I have in Latin America. So my network of contact here is growing, but it's not as strong and as close, I guess, as in the rest of the world. Venezuelans are everywhere, and Peruvians are everywhere. So, as Italians, right?
Yeah.
So
The difference is that I try to avoid Italians as much as possible.
Well, maybe that's only you. Who knows?
Yeah, that's only me.
Yeah. But I love Venezuelans and Peruvians. Not all of them, I have to say. It's a lie that I love everyone. Yeah. I still need to be enlightened to achieve that. But, yeah.
It's hard to feel empathy for everyone. And I think there is really no point in that. I mean, why would you feel... Why would it be...
You can be dispassionate about everyone.
Yes, exactly.
That's wise.
And then everyone is like a different... Let's
just not go there.
Yeah,
let's just stay with this passion.
Yes.
Let's just not be passionate about anything. That's actually very helpful.
So how do you see your career going in the near future, like in a few years?
Wow, that's a good question. And this might change. I'm going to put a disclaimer here because I have my ascendant, my rising in Gemini, so we're a bit crazy, all of us. So
Gemini can be tricky.
We change our mind, but my heart never changes. So
what's your sign?
I'm a Taurus. My birthday was last week, remember? Or 10 days ago.
A couple of weeks ago,
yes. So, Sun is in Taurus, Moon in Scorpio, and the rising on Gemini. So, where do I see myself? I really, really, really want to keep on writing children's book, and I want to really get my that project of emotional education alive and running. That's what I really want to do. I hope I have enough strength to pull it out, and I'm counting on the right, partners and group of people to work on it to come out as well. And if not, I'll do something else, and I'm sure it'll work out anyhow. So as long as I'm alive, I'll figure it out.
That's the spirit. That's the best. That's the best attitude, I guess. What can you tell me about my?
You want to jump into the stars?
Yes. Let's jump into the stars.
We're gonna look into Francesco's secrets. Okay, so what we are going to do, because we can give like a lesson, right, for people to
how
take.
to read the birth chart.
Let's gonna go with the basics, right? So for anyone to understand their chart, and if they